All right, everybody, and welcome to the Swiss Army Nerd Podcast. This is the sports special, the Cock and Rod Connection. This is your host, John Sturcoat, and my co-host,
Stephen Cockerham.
That's right, and we're here. We're ready to talk all that good stuff. I have hat hair, so I'm going to put this back on. Anyway, we're going to talk some NFL, some NBA, and a little bit of MMA, maybe. And then we're going to save that juicy WWE stuff for this Sunday for the Royal Rumble special. We do it almost every year. Yep. So we're super excited for that. We'll be able to talk NXT, all that good stuff. So let's get the NBA out of the way. And
thanks, Chris.
We'll get into the NFL. Go away. Well, thanks, Chris. Anyway, NBA, we'll just get into that real quick. So they announced the All-Stars. Yep. The captain, of course, of the West. That's weird. The West, LeBron James.
You almost said East, didn't you?
I almost said East. And then of the East is Giannis. I'm not even going to try to say his last name.
Numba Dumba Tumbo.
Yes, Numba Dumba Tumbo. Is the captain of the East. So it's pretty exciting. I like the All-Star game. It's pointless. It's like ridiculous amounts of scoring, but you don't need... That's why we watch basketball. So I don't mind that. I like seeing the players have fun. So I dig it.
I just like watching Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's always fantastic. So it's interesting. The starters are Kyrie Irving in the East. Of course, Giannis is one of the other starters. Who else we got? Front court, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Kawhi Leonard. Of course, they're all well-deserving. I think those are pretty accurate. Some people are saying it should be other people. I don't. In the West, I think it's pretty full. I mean, it's PG, LeBron, KD, and Harden, and I actually don't know who the fifth one is. I'm not positive.
It's gotta be a Splash Brother.
Yeah, it's probably Steph. You're right. It's probably Steph. But I'm excited for it. I like it. It's fun. I mean, I like that they have captains now because they actually get to like choose and stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Piggybacking off of that, they did every year they do a vote top NBA players, and for the first time, LeBron's not top. It's not his fault. Obviously, he's still the best player in the league. If you don't believe that, you're an idiot. Offense intended if you think that. But Harden was number one. I know. And number two, if I can remember, I think it was Giannis, which he's great. It was AD. Sorry, Anthony Davis, which he's phenomenal. AD. I'm not saying he's not. Both of them are. But best player in the league, it's obviously LeBron. LeBron can do what all of them do, plus more if he wanted to. He's just been injured, and he's trying to develop a team. So I'm not on LeBron's jock as much as people think, but that's just a reality. He's not in this year to be the best player in the league. He's trying to teach.
He's just being a mentor.
Yeah. So, if you disagree, that's fine. But Harden is not the best basketball player in the league.
Harden gets away with so much crap.
He does. He's the best scorer in the league, and it doesn't, it's built for him, but he is. But he's not the best player in the league. He doesn't pass. He doesn't play defense. He doesn't do a lot of things. So it's just interesting. Like maybe we're seeing a changing of the guard. I'm not always going to be able to say LeBron's still the best player in the league.
No,
you know what I mean. We're close to the. Eventually MJ wasn't
talking about someone else.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. We've been talking about LeBron for 15 years. It's kind of crazy to think about that. So, Boogie Cousins, I don't think we got to talk about it. I'm actually positive we didn't.
No.
Boogie joined the Warriors, and we talked about it, and it's called the Death Squad. It's Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Boogie Cousins, Draymond Green, and KD. That's their starting five. And unfortunately, for all opposing people, they have a plus 32 scoring with that squad on.
Yep.
It's insane.
I don't know how anyone's going to stop them. Like, they should, once the playoffs hit, I could honestly see them going undefeated all the way through the playoffs.
Me too.
Probably, good chance going undefeated from the playoffs and winning the title.
Yeah, Boogie's not...
I don't want to talk about that.
We have to.
No, we don't.
We definitely do. But Boogie, he scored 3 3-pointers in his first game. Mm-hmm. So he's already a splash bro. Yeah. He already has that range. Not to mention he's 7 foot, probably close to 280, 300 pounds. He looks healthy. He's running the floor. He's intimidating. He gets those technical fouls. He's like a bigger, scarier Draymond. So you remember how Draymond was picking up all those fouls? Well, half of those are going to go to Boogie now, which means you don't got to worry about Draymond as much. Draymond can play his game, Boogie plays his game, and you're not going to get anyone teed out. I am so excited to see these people play the playoffs because that's the test, right? Boogie's never made it far in the playoffs. Let's see.
I don't think he's ever made it out of the first round.
No, he hasn't. He was with the Kings and then the Pelicans, and that was when AD went down.
Pelicans haven't been made it out of the first round yet either.
No. Yeah, as long as they haven't. But I love it, man. I know I probably shouldn't because they're the pure.
No, but I get what you're
but
saying though. Like you probably won't see this again. Like when LeBron invented the first super team, like you sit there and you just think of like 3 players. Now, like you look at the Golden State Warriors, their whole team is a super team.
It's
like
5 All-Stars. Hasn't been done since '76.
I get people are complaining it's getting boring because with a flick of the wrist, pun intended, the Warriors can just destroy anyone. I agree, but you know what? It's really, really fun to me to watch this right now.
I think it's exciting. To me, I watch the Warriors play and I'm in awe, right? Because I might never see this again. All of these players are so talented, and somehow they're working cohesively. There's not egos. It's nothing. It's like it really is the most talented, perfectly constructed team I've ever seen. Truly. And that people are just trying to break this Rubik's Cube, and I don't think you can. And you're right, we may never see this again. I'm enjoying the ride, man. I think long term, I want to be able to look back at this and be like, yo, you remember when Boogie joined the Warriors? I'm okay with that. There's not a team in the West that was going to beat them without Boogie.
I just want to see if they can break 100 in the first quarter.
I would love that.
They've gotten like 60 points in one quarter. Like, it's possible.
I mean, I love it. I like Boogie too. I've always liked Boogie Cousins, so I like it, and I like that he's taking it with stride, man. I'm a professional wrestler lover at heart, and I love faces and I love heels, and right now they're the best heels in the game. I love it, man. Who's gonna be that guy who steps up?
There's no one in the league that can step up.
No, and if that ever happens, it's gonna be like the biggest upset ever. You know what I mean? Oh my God! Like when the Warriors finally go down, it's gonna be so cool because you're gonna be like, oh my God, that's it. That's
Beat
it.
the streak.
Yeah. So I love it. I'm pretty excited.
So do I. I'm a fan. I love watching it because you should just imagine because we've talked about it on the show before. Usually, if one Splash Brothers having a really bad day, the other one picks up the slack, like Thompson or Steph. Like any other time, one of them is always on. Could you imagine if like Katie, Steph, Clay,
Boogie,
and all of them were on point for one game? The amount of points they would put up.
Think of it. Even if Draymond has a bad game, they each can score 30 in their sleep. So let's just, real quick, 4 times 3, 120 points between them. Those 4. And then Draymond's probably going to get a few. I mean, that's just between those 4. Not the bench players. That's insane. And it's completely doable. And it brings up the question, and this is a real question, though, and some people, especially if you watch the old school stuff, where do they stack as the best team ever? Because if they go on and do what you say they're going to do, and what I agree with, they sweep all the way up and they get that ring. Does it matter that they had 5 All-Stars? I don't think so. I think that at the end of the day, I'm going to sit back and go, wow, like, that's some 96 Bulls stuff right there. You know what I mean? That's 85 Bears. I know it's a different sport, but that makes you go, whew.
Yep. This is the 85 Bears of our generation.
Yeah, and I love it, man. We're watching history. I'm okay with it.
Couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, Jeremiah, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't even think the Hornets were still a team. So I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know what their record is.
It's not good.
So
they will make the playoffs.
Jordan was a great player, not a good GM, owner, whatever.
Yeah, it's hard transition. That's why Kobe said he doesn't want to be an owner. It's hard for someone so talented to judge talent. It's very difficult.
I am so proud of you, Trevor.
What is that?
I would be so pissed off right now, and you're just being super positive. Kudos to you, big man, because you guys got screwed.
Oh,
bad. He just said Saints blood forever, black and gold, baby. Who dat? Saints Nation.
We'll actually be talking about that in a minute. So
stay tuned.
Real quick, we have to get this in.
I got something about
here.
basketball I want to talk about.
All right, let's do that, and then we'll get into Harden, and then we'll end with Carmelo.
So, the true GOAT of the NBA, the Mamba, last Tuesday was 13-year anniversary of when he scored 81 points on the Raptors.
Yes, I remember that.
I do too.
It was a pretty epic moment.
It was. No one's ever done it since.
And Booker came close.
Yes.
Remember Devin Booker got up there, man.
Yes.
I mean, it's.
I sat there and watched highlights of that game over and over and over. Like he was just the one thing about Kobe. Once that switch goes on, you ain't stopping him. Like, and he wasn't that player that could only score outside the paint. Like, he went into the paint. He got the hard points. He got the hard twos.
People forget how athletic Kobe was.
Yes.
Here's a fun thing you should do, and someone made a compilation of it on YouTube. Harden's 63 at Madison Square Garden 2 days ago, compared to Kobe's either 62 at the Garden or Kobe's 81. Kobe went in there and ripped your heart out of your chest and threw it into the basket. Harden doesn't do that. Harden's highlights suck. They just do. There are a lot of free throws. That's not how Kobe played. Kobe played 81 points. He scored 81 points in the hardest way you ever could. Kobe was the real one right there. And that's a perfect segue, because people are talking about Harden is doing these things that MJ and Kobe never did. Yeah, because if MJ played in this league right now, he'd score 100 points a game. So would Kobe. You know how many times Kobe got bitch smacked at the line going up, and they were like, it's fine, it's Kobe. Because Kobe had Kobe mentality, Mamba mentality.
Well, I would love to see Harden play in that era.
He
would go and get, because I was watching a game the other day.
Foul.
When he went down into the paint and it was a clean foul. Like, first thing he does, puts his arms up. Like he'd quit. He'd have to quit, because he'd go into the paint back in those days and he would get an elbow to the face and he would cry.
Yep, you're absolutely right. We've talked about, we don't like Harden. I don't like how he plays.
No.
Is what he's doing, is it crazy? Absolutely. His numbers that he's putting up is insane, but there should be an asterisk next to it of saying, okay, he's playing in a very soft league right now, and he's getting a ton of fouls that aren't actual fouls. You know who got fouled a lot and earned his points, even though he might not have been great at free throws? Shaq. Shaq got destroyed at the line. Yep. Destroyed. And he still got up, he still went to that line, and he still made an impact. Harden's a crybaby, and I'll tell you what, if you think they're going far in the playoffs, or if they're going to go to the champ, hell no. Because right now it's a one-man show. Everyone's throwing him the ball. All you have to do is stop Harden if you want to beat the Houston Rockets. Wait till Chris Paul comes back. Those big points, the points he's scoring and stuff, it's not going to happen that way anymore. It's just not. It's not successful basketball. It just isn't. That's why Kobe didn't win his rings from 2008 on. Right? Is that right? Or is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
2008 on, he didn't win another ring. Why? Because all of his other teammates were trash and it was all on him. He would still have these amazing scoring nights, but you can't win that way. You know what I mean? It doesn't work.
It's not a one-man game.
So is what he's doing amazing in some
stats-wise? What he's doing is crazy, yes. But, like, you're not going to find an argument from me. I don't like the way he plays. Say he gets 40 points a game. I'm going to say at least 15 to 20 of those are at the foul line.
Yeah, don't mention his name with the Kobe's and with the MJ's or the Iversons. Don't do it. Those dudes played the game and they were better scorers than anyone else. They didn't milk the game. MJ had rules made against them. That's how good MJ was. You know what I mean? You don't see. I want them. I wish one team would just be like, let's give the Harden rules and just beat the piss out of him, because that's what he deserves, man. He's milking the system. I guarantee you we're going to see a change next year. But don't be saying he's the greatest offensive player ever. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no, that's just an insult to That's an insult to Kobe. That's an insult to LeBron. That's an insult to Jordan. Like,
absolutely.
I'm not saying he's not a good player, but in the league he plays in right now,
he's protected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Victor Oladipo.
Ooh, that was rough.
Oof, it is. He actually
stretches his knee.
It's brutal. If you haven't seen it, he's a great player. He really went off last year for the Pacers, and he ruptured his quad. Now, if people don't know how hard that is to do, it's really hard to do. It really only happens with like bodybuilders who take a lot of steroids because your quads are your strongest muscle in your body, and in order to rupture those, you would need tremendous amounts of pressure or tremendously weak ligaments. Obviously, he's not popping steroids. Basketball players don't get a lot from that. Like, maybe they do, but I doubt that's what's happening. Like, it's the same as baseball players. Like, they do it, but it doesn't hurt their injuries. Regardless, he just in a horrible way. And honestly, in Triple H, this happened to him twice. He said he was never the same. And Triple H wasn't running the court every night. So hopefully he comes back healthy.
He's got a long road to recovery.
He does.
See what happens.
We will see. Finally, before we jump into the wonderful world of NFL.
And the show's over. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Carmelo Anthony is joining...
No.
He might be joining the Lakers.
Well, hopefully he joins the Lakers like he joined the Bulls.
And gets the hell out of there. Yeah, if people don't know, he was traded to the Bulls for 35 seconds. And then he was let go. I think Carmelo's time is done. I hope LeBron... I think LeBron wants him because it's his friend. But I hope LeBron is looking at him like a chess piece that he can utilize instead of like, I want to play with my friend.
But there's no way Carmelo is not going to sit the bench with that team.
I don't know. If LeBron is the alpha of all that little group, and anyone who says different, look at the pictures of them all. He's always in the middle or he's always leading the pack. LeBron's the alpha. So if anyone can get Carmelo to sit down, it would be LeBron. But does he want to really flex on his friend? You know what I mean? He would have to step up and be like, Carmelo, Ingram's doing better than you, or, Kuzma's doing better than you, or shit, even Alonzo's doing better than you. Can he say that to someone like Carmelo?
I don't think he can, but he would.
I hope he would. I mean, that's the question. If you're going to bring Carmelo in, because we know LeBron wants it, you have to be hard on him. You have to have him train. You can't have him overweight. You have to make him not so selfish. You have to change him. I don't know if you can do that, but if LeBron's willing to try that, and then if it doesn't work, say, okay, sorry, you're going back to the bench, I'm okay with it. Can you utilize Carmelo in right systems? Absolutely. But he has to know his role and shut his mouth, to quote the great one.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, if I was you, I'd be panicked. But at least you have LeBron that can step in and be like, hey, because even LeBron made D-Wade sit when he was injured. He not playing well. He'd be, hey, sit down, I got this. So, hopefully, it depends what LeBron you get. I think LeBron's kind of going to dad mode, and I think he would be like, sit down, Carmelo. You are.
Yeah. So Jeremiah asks, which I don't watch a lot of it, like you said, but Jeremiah says, I know you don't talk about baseball much, but what do you think of the Hall of Fame inductees?
Oh, I think the
Rivera
stole the show.
Yeah, like I don't really watch a lot of it, the Hall of Fame for baseball, so I couldn't tell you who got voted in, but I do know because I love sports and I got the updates about Rivera being the first player to ever get unanimous voted into the Hall of Fame, which he deserves it. I hate the Yankees, I hate Boston, but you know what? That man was a beast. That you knew there was a 90% chance when he came in to relieve to end the game, it was over. The game was over. The Yankees were going to win.
The definition of a closer.
Yes. That's super cool, but I couldn't tell you who the other people are that got voted in.
I mean, honestly, the big news is he was the first all-unanimous vote in, and he deserves it.
Yes.
He was amazing. Watching him growing up was phenomenal. I mean, he played for so long. He was classy the entire time. He was like Jeter, and I know you hate Jeter, but Jeter had no controversies. Jeter played his career. He did his job. He was a great leader. That was Manny. You know what I mean? And it just says a lot, and I like that he's being rewarded for it. I think that's cool. That's the story I took from it, was we got our first unanimous vote in, and it happens to be one of the greatest to ever do it in a very difficult position. Closing's not easy. It's a very stressful thing. He did it for almost 20 years. So, very cool. Definitely something worth bringing up. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, so let's just dive into the NFL. All right.
So, Brady's going to win another ring.
So, yeah, I think first thing we should talk about is both games, phenomenal. In my opinion, I know there was controversy. We're going to get into that. I loved both games. I was glued to the TV the whole time.
Well, we had no choice. It was a giant snowstorm.
This is true. But It was really great. I mean, it was good. Yeah, there were a couple bad calls, and we should get into that. Cause
We will. Don't worry.
What do you think? Okay, so that finally the dust is settled, and the dust is settled. It's Rams versus Pats. And ironically, you can go back. That was actually his pick, Rams versus Pats. So his first original pick, he flip-flopped 100 times.
No,
so
I flip-flopped once because I wanted Breeze.
He loses a bunch of credibility.
I do lose some credit, but I flip-flopped once.
But I will give him that. That was a great call. It should be Saints, in my opinion. It should be Saints, Brady, or Pats. But this is the Super Bowl we got. What do you think about it?
The Pats are going to steamroll.
Yes, I think you're right. I mean, I hope you're wrong because I want an entertaining one. And you're probably going to end up being wrong only because every time we make a prediction, we feel like something, or usually it's me. But I share the same opinion as you, so we're probably not going to get steamrolled. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Brady does to get that 6th ring.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my opinion, and I'm going to go ahead and say this on here, and you can quote me on this. If Brady wins one more, which I think he will, he goes from the GOAT in the NFL to the GOAT in every sport to ever exist. That's my opinion. He goes from being the GOAT of the NFL, clearly the GOAT of quarterbacks, to being the GOAT of all time in all sports ever, which I think right now you would probably tip your hat to, like, Michael Jordan. He's probably the most well-known, more renowned champion of all time. I would say it would be Tom Brady. That's my opinion. He's gone to nine Super Bowls, and he's had a chance to win 6 of them, and he could continue playing if he wanted to. He only lost 3. 2 of those, not even his fault. Offensively or defensively, they faltered, and there were 2 miracle catches against Eli Down syndrome Manning. That's what happened. So Brady should have 8 rings.
At least 8, yeah.
At 8 rings
Which
he
is
should have.
Really scary to think in football.
Terrifying. It's terrifying. I just think that for Brady, he's going into this as the underdog, and that's a bad place to put someone like Brady.
Yeah.
Brady does worse when he's the top guy.
I think Goff is just the pressure of the Super Bowl is going to... He's
a kid,
He's not
man.
going to be able to handle it. Like,
He's a kid.
I can only imagine. He's like 24?
24.
Like, never been to a Super Bowl. Like, could you imagine, like, walking on that field? Like,
Look at what happened to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Faltered, man.
Oh, Cam Newton. I loved every bit of that Super Bowl.
But that's a good example. Cam Newton was he was older than Goff. He had an amazing defense, and yet at the end of the day, you got to score points, man. And I'm not putting Mahomes. Maybe even still, I would have put Brady. But Goff versus Brady. Brady been there, done that. This is a walk in the park.
This is just
Brady.
another Sunday game for Brady and the Patriots.
That's another thing too. Not only is Brady an underdog, but you've managed to make it so even if Brady loses, it doesn't even matter. It's not even like the legacy. Like LeBron's legacy is always going to have that shadow, because you can get to the NBA championships way easier. You just do. Super Bowls. He has 9 appearances. That's more than, I think it was, 13 other entire franchises. Him alone. It's insane. I mean, what he's doing, it doesn't even matter. If he loses, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, he's still the GOAT.
No, he's the GOAT.
But if he wins, like I said, it's another stratosphere. It stops being, oh my God, he's the greatest quarterback ever, to he's the greatest athlete to ever play a sport. I mean, you can't deny it. Maybe Belichick helped. Who knows? I don't know. But I know that I'm excited for this. And that Rams defense, if they were going to pay, literally, I mean that literally, if they were going to pay off, this is your chance. I don't think they're going to do it. I think Brady's going to be surgical in that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
We can just only hope that Tony Romo is the announcer.
He is. They announced it.
Yes.
He's in it. So, let's talk about... Is Trev still with us?
I believe so.
All right. So, let's talk about that flag. So... The Saints versus, why am I blanking? Rams, of course. The Rams. There was a call in the last bit of the game.
Last minute.
Where it was so clear as day, pass interference, that Ray Charles could have seen it. And they didn't call it. And it ended up, they went into overtime. Breeze threw an interception. Rams win it. Is it Brees' fault for throwing the interception? Yeah, he was getting hit, but he probably should have threw it away.
He should have thrown it away. Breeze is better than that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he made a mistake. Can you say at the end the Saints lost it? They had an opportunity to win it, and you had one of the greatest ever doing it for you, and he faltered and failed. Could you blame it on him? Sure. But you know what would have happened? At the 5-yard line, they would have had 3 chances to score a touchdown, and then the Rams don't have to score a field goal. They have to score a touchdown. Way less likely. So the odds are in the Saints. If you're a Saints fan, you should be disgusted with officiating. And there's bad calls every which way. People were complaining about the Pats calls and stuff. That's
just because it's the Patriots.
Yeah, it's just part of the game. You know, you can pinpoint a ton of calls. But that one's so blatant.
Yeah, that one was bad. Like, the rule, literally, for pass interference, if you're not looking at the ball when you hit a player, it's pass interference. Because if you're looking at the ball and making a move on the ball, you could get away with it sometimes. That's the whole thing with, is it pass interference or is it not? You go back and look at that video, the Ram defender doesn't even once look at the ball. Like, he just literally runs right into the Saints receiver, just hits him,
destroys him.
The ball is not like 5 feet away from them, so it wasn't even like. I don't get it. Like when it happened, I put my hands up. I was like, oh, there's pass interference. Saints are gonna win because now they can just milk the clock, take the field goal, call it a day, and then no flag. And I was just like, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that was by far the worst call I've seen in a very, very, very long time. I put it up there. I was telling him
right next to the Fail Mary.
No, I think who was I? It was either talking to you or someone else. I said I haven't seen a worse call since the tuck rule of Tom Brady and the Raiders.
Agreed.
Like I just couldn't believe it. And yeah, I'm a Bucs fan. I love the Bucs. I'm always gonna follow them. But I was rooting for Breeze because I love Breeze. Breeze is that quarterback. He's always humble. He's one of those guys that you don't
root for him.
You do. Like, he's never in the news for anything negative. He's always just that outstanding character, that guy, and he's amazing. And I was pulling for him. I'd love to see him win one more Super Bowl because then at that point he's got to be in that category for the all-time great because he
goes up considerably.
Yeah, there's no one been in the league that's doing what Breeze has done consecutively for like 5-6 years now. Like, he always throws for over 5,000 yards.
He's an animal.
Maybe throws 3 interceptions a season. Like, the man is amazing. So I was pulling for him. So when that call happened, I was so bummed out. I can only imagine Saints fans what they're.
Trev, man, that's all I can think
I
of.
apologize, buddy. You guys got screwed.
Robbed. You got robbed. And like, if I was in that stadium, man, and I'm not sure, I'll condone it. I don't care. Riot. I would have rioted, man. The fact that game ended the way it did and Rams are celebrating, they had no rights. It would have been game over. It's such a blatant call. And yes, you could say that about so many games, but when it's this much on the line, it's not acceptable, man. And leading from that is now they're going to hopefully make pass interference calls.
Yes, Chris actually just said that. He saw an article that says that they're going to be reviewable, which is great.
It should always be. Why? There shouldn't be a rule that tells you to review that. There were 2 guys there. They both, if you watch it, before the ball was even close to the guy, they both said this. So they already made up their mind that it was a no call, and then he got destroyed in bounds while the ball was coming when he was making a grab for it, and they just didn't want to falter. Some guy should be in a booth going, hey, review that, because that's pass interference. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you look stupid on the field. It was a bad call. Fix it.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that? Why do refs have to have such egos that they're like, no, final call. That's the way. No, F that, man. Let him. They were like, oh, we let him play. No, you didn't.
I could get a couple tugs here and there, but that was so blunt.
So it's it makes me mad and sick. I'm not even a Saints fan, dude. I am mad, I will admit this, because they robbed us of the only opportunity we're ever going to get of Breeze versus Brady. Breeze versus Brady, sorry. That was the only chance. I'm sorry. What are the odds of both of those teams going back again? Very slim. I mean, there's always a hangover. There just is.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Pats might be in it again, but the Saints, who knows? Their defense came out of nowhere this year.
Yeah.
I'm livid because they robbed me of a chance of GOAT versus GOAT type thing.
That would have been
That would have
really
been like
cool Super Bowl to watch.
MJ versus LeBron. Like, if that was possible, that's what they just robbed me of because they were too scared to make the right call. We let him play. No, you didn't. You let one guy mug the other guy and then say that, they had a chance in overtime. It would have never happened. Overtime would have never existed.
Yep.
So, yeah, if I was Trev, which it seems like he's upset, he should be.
If you're a Saints fan, you'd be upset.
If you're a football fan, you should be upset. Because we got robbed of not only a great Super Bowl, offensive two masterminds, but we also got robbed, not the integrity of the game. It looks phony. You're telling me it doesn't look weird that the LA Rams, who are building a multi-billion-dollar stadium, somehow made it to the Super Bowl? First try in LA? Get the hell out of here. That's just a little too weird. I'm not saying that it's set up, but I'm saying that those refs, that was a weird, not difficult decision that they made to let that call go.
It just felt really weird.
It just did. It made me uncomfortable.
All right, Trevor, have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, bud. See you next week.
We're on your side. But leading on from that, Breeze did throw that interception.
Yes.
Brady didn't.
No.
And Brady threw some way harder throws to way better coverage, and yet he still got it done. That's why Brady's the GOAT. We talked about it, and I said you made up a good point. I'm like, yeah, he's right. He's one of the best to ever do it. And then that situation happened with Brady, and he looked down the field, and he gutted a better defense than the Rams. Gutted them. Like it was nothing. Like he was literally walking in the park.
Yep.
That's why Brady is Brady, man. And I'm not trying to get on my knees for this dude, but come on. If you didn't watch that drive and watch Edelman, the Iron Man of the NFL, and Gronk, that unsung hero who blocked amazing and then made that phenomenal catch, drive down that field and take that win from Mahomes and them.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, when they win to overtime and the Patriots got the ball first, they're like, well, our season's done?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like they had to have known. People, especially sports analysts, were saying, whoever won that coin flip won. I disagree. I don't think so. Belichick is a defensive mastermind. People forget that. It's Andy Reid is an amazing offensive coach, clearly.
And former loser, now unsung hero, Mr. drawing a blank on his name now.
Chris Hogan?
No. The defender that they got from Buffalo.
Oh, Gilmore.
Gilmore. He comes out of nowhere and makes those plays. Like, let's not forget, he's the reason they went to the Super Bowl last year. He made that great defensive stop.
Yep.
So
it was just great watching. And I know a lot of people hate the Patriots, but this is why I love them. Because people like Brady and Edelman and Hogan and Gronk, they're so hated. Belichick, they're so hated. Mm-hmm. And yet they just smiled and said, get to work. I respect that so much because they didn't care. They didn't care. It didn't bother them that their season was... They scored 3 on 3rd and 10. 3 first downs. That's insane. That's insane to me. And the most pivotal part of the game. Because you give that up, you punt that ball, you're going to lose. Mahomes is probably going to at least score a field goal.
Yeah.
And you lose. They didn't even let it happen. Michael Jordan used to always say, you know how I like to win games? Not defensively. I like to win. I like to put the ball in the hoop and I win. That's it. That's the best way to win. Because there's no beating it. I won. I put the ball in last second. I win. That's why he loved last minute shots. That's what Brady did. Oh, Mahomes, yeah, you're doing good. You're the up and comer, but you're not seeing the field.
Yeah. See you next year.
And like as great as I'm praising Brady, like I said, I texted you. I'm like Edelman's got all my respect.
Edelman has always been a beast.
He took 2 nasty hits, and he didn't drop that ball or nothing, man.
Nope. Edelman's... The small guys for the Patriots are always just...
But he was on the sidelines. I was watching video of him saying, like, to Brady, right in overtime, he's like, people are saying you're too effing old. You're going to effing prove them wrong. It's like, dude, this is your wide receiver. He's talking like a badass. He wasn't supposed to be in the league, man. And he's your guy. I love him, man. I just love Edelman's one of my favorites.
Yep.
But I think we both agree. We'll clean up on that. They're 2 great games. Bad calls ruined the Saints game. But we both picked the Pats.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the Rams get exposed and that defense gets blown up.
I think Goff just panics under the bright lights.
I think the only way the Rams win is if Aaron Donald puts that team on his back and pulls a Khalil Mack and gets them strip fumble.
Yeah. That's it.
Touchdowns.
All that money they put into that front line needs to step up.
Yes.
That's how they win.
Well, we'll see. I just don't know. I thought it was cool that Brady stopped and talked to Mahomes.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. For all those people that just sit there and harp on Brady and say he's a horrible person and this and that, like, for him to take it out of his time to literally go to the Chiefs locker room, ask to speak with Mahomes, and then they were in there for like 20 minutes just having a conversation, just shows how much respect Brady has for that team and for the sport of football.
And for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's a big thing for the greatest to ever do it, to be like, hey, man. And I'm sure it was very positive talk, like, hey, keep your head down. We'll get easier. It'll be your time. But I loved it, man. Brady was up there. He was that old lion on the perch. You still want it, you got to take it. It's still his time, man. And I loved it. And I'm okay with Brady Rams, man. I really am.
Jeremiah wants to know if Breeze wins MVP. Unfortunately, he deserves it, but he's not going to. If you're knocked out of the playoffs and you're not in the Super Bowl, you're not going to win MVP.
Well, no, because his opponent is Mahomes, and he got knocked out.
I
think Breeze wins it because he had less interceptions, but it's more of a story to give it to Mahomes. And NFL loves the story. So it should, in my opinion, it should go to Breeze. But I wouldn't be if it goes to Mahomes.
It's either going to be Mahomes or Breeze, but
Mahomes had 50 touchdowns, so
yeah, Mahomes killed it this year. Like 5 touchdowns in like 3 consecutive games without an interception. Like Mahomes most likely will win it. Does Breeze deserve it? Absolutely. Breeze has deserved it the last like 3 years.
I think it's a coin flip, really. Last little bit, because of that debacle, the Chiefs fired their defensive coordinator. They just hired a new one. It was the Giants' defensive coordinator. They just hired him.
It's because the Giants' defense was really good this year.
Yeah, so they took that Giants back to being a shamble. But I think it's a good grab, man. It's really simple. Try to keep your core together, keep everyone you had, and then just make that defense better, and you've got a championship. That's it. They had all the tools. Just their defense let them down, and that's what wins. You know what I mean? That's what the Rams, I said, if they didn't get that defense, they weren't going to make it that far, and they shouldn't have. The Saints were the better team. The Rams made it, but now we get to see, did the right team win? Because if it's a blowout, then we're going to be like, this is why you review those calls.
Yep.
But I think it's exciting. Next year should be exciting for Mahomes. He's got a great year under his belt. They have that fire in their belly. They went toe to toe with Brady and this club. I mean, they're there, man.
There's no reason why the Chiefs can't be right there again next year.
Yeah. Last little bit. Fitzgerald is coming back for his 16th season. Why wouldn't you? Speaking of wide receivers, AB is open for business, which basically means he's taking offers to be traded. It's even though he can't trade himself, that's how he's acting, basically, which he kind of can trade himself, but he's being such a little prima donna about it. Maybe some teams want him. My buddy Nate wants him for the Niners. That's probably where he's going to go. I have no interest in him. I don't need that. I don't want him to go to the Lions. I don't. I mean, is he great? Sure, but...
He's going to go to the Lions and change his number to 81.
Oh, travesty. Oh, that makes me sick. And then last little bit, I thought this was really cool, is Tony Romo steals the show. I love it, personally. I wasn't a Romo fan when he was a quarterback.
No.
But the dude as an announcer, he's my favorite announcer.
Dude knows his stuff.
He makes Gruden look like he has Tourette's.
There we go.
Because I swear, Gruden would say, like, he was a good one. I like Gruden. But I feel like I'm learning with Romo. He'll be like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. He'll circle or whatever. Be like, this guy's going to come down, and then this is before it happens.
Yep.
And he does it. He's like, oh, okay, so he did go down. Now this guy's going to go here.
Yeah, he's like, Brady's going to watch this guy. If this guy brings it in, then he's going to have this guy open up here in the middle, and that's where he needs to go. That's exactly what happened. I was like, what?
And it's got a ton of clips were made. He got like 20 plays.
Yeah, he's the talk of the NFL right now. Like, after that game, like, they weren't talking Tom Brady going back to the Super Bowl. They were talking, how about Tony Romo?
And I love it, man, because it's almost like the world's best accidental job interview. You know what I mean? Because if he's impressing people who hire coaches, obviously he knows stuff about the game, but what he was doing is not normal.
No,
Like,
I've never seen someone break it down like he did.
Let's see Troy Aikman or Joe Buck tell me those plays. They're not going to do it. They've been watching football for 20 years. Get out of here. I hope Romo doesn't take a coaching job, though. I don't know if he would be a good coach. I think it's different. It's a lot easier to research and to know what's going to happen and guess and then be wrong than it is to be a coach and be wrong.
I agree, but if Dallas fires Jason Garrett,
hire Romo.
They're that's the first person they're calling, and I don't think Romo could say no to that.
No, and he said he got contract offers and all this good stuff. I mean, I think it's great, man. He should have been a lot better. He wasn't given the best cards, but if he stays on as an announcer, and he's announcing the Super Bowl.
Josh just said Tony Romo finally made it to the Super Bowl.
Yes, he did. And so many people were actually like happy for him. I'm happy for him. I think it's awesome, man. The dude fell it's not that easy. Jason Witten's horrible at commentating. Horrible. And Romo feels like he's been doing it forever. I love it, man.
Romo, he's calm. He's just he
and
did.
Knowledgeable.
You would think he'd been doing it for years.
Yeah, and I love it, man. I like learning what's happening, because obviously I don't play it, and I watch it and I try to learn it, but you don't know what you're looking for. And by the end of that AFC game, I was like, oh, okay, I know what he's going to do now. Romo was helping me, but still, that was cool. And that final drive, he was like, okay, this guy's coming here, Gronk is going to go here, he's going to throw to Gronk. That's exactly what happens. And he's like, told you. And then the second one, he's going to go up the middle here. Exactly what happened. It's just, if he does get a coaching gig, good for Roman, man. I think it's cool. I'm just happy for him in general. So
yeah,
pretty cool. But that's pretty much it for NFL. I mean, I'm just super excited for the Super Bowl. I mean, I wish it was Breeze Brady, but I'm not going to be sour grapes. I'm excited either way.
Nah, it's the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We've watched some pretty crappy Super Bowls, but
it's true. It's not going to be, well, who knows? It could be Pat's Atlanta again. Who knows? I'm excited, though. I think everyone should be. I mean, instead of bitching about Brady, maybe you guys should just bask in that no one will ever do that again. Ever. You will never see Brady exist. Mahomes is fantastic. I promise you his career won't have 9 Super Bowl appearances.
No.
No way. And if you want to thank Belichick and da-da-da, I don't think Belichick. We talked about this before in the podcast. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady? I'll tell you what. Belichick might be calling the plays, but Brady's out there making that clutch 3 and 10 3 times in a row.
Yep.
Belichick can give all the plays he wants. The boys have to catch it, and he's got to throw it. And he threw it perfectly at 41, almost 42. Guy's amazing.
13-degree weather.
13. Yeah, that's his bread and butter, though. That was probably a huge advantage for him because New England's freezing all the time.
Yeah.
But we're obviously super excited. You can hear it in our voices. Skills Challenge is next weekend. Or it's this weekend.
It's this weekend.
But who cares about that? The big news. It's Rumble weekends.
Yes.
So we're going to have an awesome Rumble podcast. We're going to talk about that awesome NXT TakeOver Phoenix that we are salivating for this Saturday. So we're going to talk about that Sunday. It's going to be probably 5 o'clock, something like that, 4:30. It's going to be a quick one. We're going to talk about the Rumble, who we think is going to win, show up, all
I'm
that.
getting goosebumps thinking about
it. I know, man. This Rumble weekend is the closest thing to WrestleMania weekend we get. We're super excited. So can't wait to get back to you guys this Sunday. Hope you guys enjoy watching the Skills. If you don't watch, hook it up. Watch some WWE because it's going to be a good one. And we'll be back Sunday for WWE, and then we'll be back next Thursday to talk about the upcoming Super Bowl. Some
and
more.
The fallout of the Rumble.
Yes. So thank you so much. We appreciate everyone who commented, liked, shared. We really appreciate you guys. You guys keep us doing this every Thursday. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If there's ever anything you want us to do more of, let us know. We appreciate the criticism. So thank you again. It's been an absolute blast. And we will see you guys next week. Or, this Sunday if you hook up. See you.